Rust used to be simple. You farmed, you built, you raided, and you fought to survive in an apocalyptic world. But now, it feels like you're working a 9 to 5 in an alternate universe. Today, we're going to be going back through the updates that absolutely ruined Rust, 1 month at a time. The monthly updates were initially supposed to fix things that were broken and focus on optimization, maybe adding a few little things here and there, but over the years they've just completely changed the game month after month. Every month there's another update. New systems, new restrictions, new ways to make the game feel less and less like a survival game and more like a day job. The game used to be about exploring, PvPing, and raiding, but now most people spend their wipe in their base setting up electricity and their tea farms. Every single thing in this game takes days to do now. From farming to raiding or just even preparing to do something, it's almost impossible for someone with things to do in their life to be able to enjoy this game. So today, we're going to go back in time, diving deep into the history of Rust to see what ruined it all, to the updates that didn't just change Rust, but destroyed it. From the death of the solos to the rise of the bunkers, here is the worst Rust updates of all time. Before we get into it, let me give you a little bit of a background. I've been playing Rust since about 2017, so yeah, almost about 8 years now. I've seen every version of this game, every Shadowfrax monthly video, been there through every change, been happy and mad about each monthly update. I've seen it all, and don't get me wrong, Rust has come a very long way back from the Rust Legacy in 2013 to the Rust Alpha to the official game Rust, and it's bigger than I or anyone thought it would ever be. The devs have done some amazing things over the years, and I know a lot of players love some of the updates that they have came out with, and I am just making this video to go over some of the things that I thought from a long-time player that have ruined the game over time just from my perspective. So let's get into it. Update number 1, the Twig and Ladder update, the update that ruined compounds. There was a time where it was normal for Rust bases to have no ceilings. People would just leave their roof open and just look up into the stars. There was no way for people to build or ladder up onto bases or climb bases, so it was just easier to not even seal them in at all. Before this update, compounds actually mattered. The whole point of building one was to protect your base. It was like an added layer of honeycomb. It also gave your large furnaces and refineries a place to safely be. If someone wanted in, they had to raid in. Simple. Then, Facepunch dropped the Twig and Ladder update, and suddenly anyone could build twig structures or throw up ladders without building privilege. Overnight, compounds went from fortress walls to minor inconveniences for anyone with a ladder and a few syringes. Compounds turned into a complete joke. People were laddering into compounds left and right like it was parkour practice. It completely killed the sense of safety that the Rust compounds used to feel. You didn't have to raid anymore, you just had to climb over their compound walls, steal the loot out of their furnaces and refineries, and door camp them with a double barrel. And I know exactly what you're thinking, just build auto turrets, but this is exactly what turned Rust into the 9 to 5 job that it is now. Setting up electricity, wiring, power, and even getting enough components for the auto turrets themselves just made it inaccessible for solos or small groups to even want to go through that just to have a compound. Compounds used to be for everyone, now they're just another system that favors bigger groups with unlimited time. Update number 2, the Building 3.0 update, the Bunker Apocalypse. When Building 3.0 dropped, it didn't just improve base building, it completely broke it. Half walls turned every base into a bunker fortress with loot rooms buried behind layers of walls. The entire raiding meta flipped overnight. Before this, base designs were about creativity, clever traps, fake doorways that lead to nothing, and deception. After Building 3.0, doors became floors, and it was no longer how many doors it would be to get to the loot, but how many floors. It became a competition to see who could bury their loot the deepest. Raiding stopped becoming strategy and started becoming straight up suffering. For solos and small groups, it was a pure death sentence. What used to be a 4-door raid on a 2x2 suddenly now cost double or even triple the amount of sulfur because every base had a bunker in it. You weren't just raiding anymore, you were clocking in for a shift because every bunker base meant hours and hours of farming. To put it in perspective, 15 rockets cost about 21,000 sulfur. Divide that by 300 per node, and you're mining roughly around 70 sulfur nodes just for 15 rockets. Sure, there are purities now and pies, but let's be real, they are not easy to get either. So before bunker bases, raids were half the cost. You could often raid more often, take bigger risks, and the game actually felt fun. 15 rockets could almost get you deep into a clan base, but now it barely cracks a 2x2 starter because it has a bunker in it. Building 3.0 was the day Rust base building stopped being fun and creative and became a copy and paste from YouTube videos with an unfair advantage. And yeah, I get it, Rust isn't supposed to be realistic, but sealing yourself inside a bunker with a wooden twig wall just makes no sense. This completely killed raiding for solos and small groups, and it just made people start to avoid online raiding altogether. The cost of failure was too high to spend hours of farming just to blow up a bunker and lose the raid. So online raiding was avoided altogether. If you could imagine a Rust world with no half walls or bunkers, the game would instantly feel alive again. There would be way more raiding, especially online raids, because people wouldn't have to spend hours of farming just to blow into a 2x2. Back then, raids were constant. You could take risk, lose, and still rebuild before nightfall. Now one failed raid means your entire day is gone, wasted. Building 3.0 didn't just change bases, it completely shifted player behavior and made offline raiding the new meta. Rust update number 3, the Workbench and Tech Tree update, the end of Discovery and the beginning of the base bitch. Then came the Rust Workbench era. The day Rust decided you weren't a survivor anymore, you were now a base bitch. You had to stand next to a giant table just to craft items. Not only that, but they cranked crafting times through the roof. Crafting rockets now takes over 30 minutes of just sitting next to a tier 3, staring at the screen and doing absolutely nothing. Everything had to be done safely inside your base. No more crafting on the go, and no more last minute crafting out in the field. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, they dropped the Tech Tree update. Rust went from having to find all of your items and actually exploring the map to grinding scrap and clicking your way down a checklist. It killed the exploration, it killed the risk, and it turned Rust from a survival game into a progression simulator. You actually had to leave your base to learn something, but now you sit inside, farm scrap, and unlock it like you're playing a minigame. The Workbench and the Tech Tree updates didn't make progression better, they just domesticated it. They turned players into farmers, glued them to their base, grinding scrap and crafting instead of playing the game. This is one of the updates I hated the most, and honestly I could go on and on about it. I remember spawning in, running the roads, grabbing just enough components for a P2, crafting it on the go, and instantly getting on fights. This was the Rust that I knew, fast-paced, unpredictable, and rewarding. The Workbench update killed that energy and slowed everything down, trapped players inside their bases, and turned crafting into a chore. Out of every update Facepunch has dropped over the years, this was by far the worst, and I will just leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching the whole video, and like I said before, this video isn't just meant to bash Rust. It's definitely one of the best games I've ever played in my life, but over the years it's drifted so far from what I thought had made the game special. I think if Rust is going to keep making these extreme changes every year, they should at least give players the ability to go back and play different versions. The game that I bought 8 years ago is completely different than the game I play now. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, make sure you subscribe. I got plenty more to say, so if you want to see a part 2, drop a like and comment below which update you think ruined Rust the most.